Yo, can you all hear me? I was literally trying to get on stream earlier, but I had to charge my headphones, unfortunately, since they were dead. I do think though that NQ is bearish. We do have this PY you could target. There's also a POC that actually just got hit as well. Overall though, if you're trying to go for a bigger target, I'd say we sent an alert on ES here. These two lows here on ES. I'd say though overall more bearish, meaning we could target at least daily 50% level here with the indicator, or you can even target New York session low. I just realized the music was way too loud. But what I was trying to say is you can target either the PY right here on the 1 minute, or the low, or the high time frame draw on liquidity, which is ultimately your New York session low. So we're getting towards the first TP. If you want to TP there fully, you can. You can TP fully there, or towards the daily 50% level. Again, I just turned down the music so you guys should be able to hear me better. But essentially, yeah, these are the targets you can go for. Hey, what's up, Mark? How you doing? You're in the short? Nice. Yeah, I've been in the short for quite a while. Again, if you target just the PY, it's a 4-hour trade. If you target the low, it's almost a 7-hour trade. Again, the entry I use is my OB entry model right here. You can get the course if you don't understand how I'm entering these trades. This is the PY I chose right here. Okay, we can mark this as your inducement if you want. But ultimately, again, this is the PY you're looking at here. Just trying a continuation. Again, you can mark the 5 minute if you want. It doesn't really matter too much here what you mark, because you would not be taking fair value gaps. Fair value gaps are fake. They're not real in the market. They don't work. So this, you avoid this loss. You actually be taking this winner here. If you took the stop winner here, this is an extra like +4 risk reward right here. Maybe even more, to be honest. But this is ultimately the zone you're looking at. Again, this is off the 5 minute. So you can just mark this as the 5 minute. Just to draw some stuff up on the chart. I'll explain my reason for why I took this short here as well in a bit. But it's pretty self-explanatory for the most part if you're like in the course or you understand, you know, my strategy. I'm personally bearish and the indicator as well. So that gives me a lot of conviction for taking shorts. What we're currently doing right now is actually holding this 1 minute on ES. We are in this 1 minute PY here on ES. That's currently holding. That's why NQ I think is maybe like literally one tick away. What we did hit is a POC here. So this could be something off the 2 minute. Look at the precision. I'm telling you guys, man. This like works like a charm. It's a 2 minute right here. It's a very tiny POC. Like I said, most times these typically don't hold. We'll see though. Again, you can target either the PY here or target the daily 50%. It's completely up to you. I want you guys to make your own decisions when trading as well. But you should already be in this trade just off my strategy alone. Like there's nothing like discretionary, I'd say, when it comes to this. So you can use the indicator for daily buys for direction, and then you can just take the entry like how it's a fully mechanical entry. That's it. Nothing much else to the setup here. Again, if you want to join the free Discord, join the course. Check out the link in in the chat. Let's do a poll here also. Nice. There's a TP for 4R. Again, if you held for that. I just marked the POC just to show people. ES just mitigated its origin. I do think we can go lower from here though. I think daily 50% level here should easily be able to get hit. But it's up to you where you want to TP. Okay. I know there's another course member as well that is also interested in a Discord server. So if you want to hop into Discord, y'all, talk to some people, click the link in the description. I was gonna start a poll. I forgot I was gonna ask. I just got alert that ES crossed. What do you guys like border wise for the chat? I know it's not a big deal, but you guys like the blue, or y'all messing with Hold on, let me low key stretch this out a little bit. All right, there you go. You guys messing with the blue overlay or this neon overlay? Trying to figure out why the top text is cut off. I think it's not. I don't think it's because of the overlay. Yeah. Okay, cool. There's Forder Sword again. I know it's a late stream today. I was trying to stream earlier, but my headphones kept dying, and I listen to music while I'm streaming, obviously, not just the stream music. So I don't want to have like the music play through my microphone. That would be a bad stream. So. You don't ever get that problem with AirPod Pros, like the 2s at least. Those are the ones I have personally, where like when you take it out the case, you can take both AirPods out the case. Only one of them for some reason like connects to Bluetooth, and the other one just doesn't like turn on. Even though they both should be turning on. Anyone else get that issue? Let's see if we can go for these lows. If we get an SMT here, you can close if you want. I think honestly, NQ is weaker. The low for ES is all the way down here versus NQ to 942 lows is a lot closer, as you guys can see. ES is much stronger. NQ should easily take out these lows. We should easily get this winning trade. So let's get this. Very confident holding to this low. We'll see. I'm gonna delete this POC. I should leave on the chart in case people are wondering why we got a tiny little fractal like seconds to the upside. Gold held a sweep. It's going higher. I missed both of these setups here on gold. I took something over London though on gold, just go higher after I got 8 session high as a continuation entry here with the stop hunter. And I think my TP was something on the left. Let me see. I believe it was this wick on the left here. Whenever you're targeting something on a higher time on the left, you can look for wicks and not just PY. Sometimes the price will react off these wicks, and sometimes if you get unlucky, you'll get like a big move against you. So if you're looking for a big, looking for something on the higher time frame, definitely look for like wicks and stuff, and not just like internal PYs. You know what I'm saying? But there's a 4.6 it took on gold last night. It's up kind of pretty late, to be honest. That's why I missed most of the New York session today. Looking good, guys. Looking good, y'all. Let's see. You could low-key even target. Nah. I was gonna say you could low key even target if you want. Oh, ES took out the low. We have a tiny SM. I'm surprised ES took it out before. Interesting. Okay. If you want to closer, you can. I think NQ should also be able to take out that low because there's no other unmitigated PY. It's just 30 seconds, but I don't think that's gonna hold. You should be good here. All right. So we'll see. Again, your trade definitely should be at break even at this point. Like, there's no reason for price to come all the way back up here again. Especially after we SMT'd. If we SMT'd here and it goes all the way back up here again, this is a really bad look for a bearish trade. What's up, Sebastian? We're all in this short here currently. I know Mark said he is, and Harry also in the private Discord is also in this short. I don't think I like the rainbow text. I think I prefer this. The rainbow kind of distracting, not gonna lie. So alright, NQ should be going for the lows. There we go. Nice. Let's get it. 7-hour trade. We can even go, like I said, for new session low here. The reason why, I'll explain why I was looking bearish here. Well, essentially, all everything on the left is fully mitigated here. You can consider this kind of like trend on liquidity if you want, even though it doesn't look like it that much, but essentially fully mitigated. I TP'd here at the low here. Again, if you want to go for the high time frame draw on your session low, you can, feel free to, but I hit TP here on my account, so I think I'm done for the day here. It's already a 7R. I'll see if we can look for another trade though with y'all, so we'll see. I did miss the gold trade, unfortunately, to the upside off this entry here on gold. I missed this. This would have been a banger trade, but all good there on gold. You could try taking an OB continuation on gold, something like this if you want. It's up to you. I usually don't take trades like these, but this is like something you could take. Just as an example trade. Not gonna count it towards the stream results today, even if it does become a winner, just because it's not a typical trade I'd take. If you want to take that, you can get like a nice, maybe, what is it, tutor sword almost out of it. Yeah, the only thing is I usually look for a stop hunter. Should be like something down here. So that's why I like something like this. I don't know. For me, I haven't done enough backtesting. I'm sure if you do enough backtesting, you might see something, see good results pop up. But for me personally, I haven't done that. So, you know, I wouldn't know. Just a sample, like I said, I'm not counting this trade here towards the stream. This is just a forward test, okay, of just OB continuations. there are course members that do trade these and they're profitable consistently. So it's not like these don't work. It's just more so I don't know the exact data behind them and when to best take them. They're just not as high winner for me personally. I'm sure if you master a setup, it would be. ES is rejecting, NQ is rejecting off the daily 50%. ES's daily 50% is way lower. There's this PY below here. ES, everything here on the left is fully mitigated. You do want to switch time frames though when you say that, because sometimes it isn't, but it's fully mitigated. So, but again, that doesn't mean price can't do something like this and then go lower. This is why like sometimes TPing at the next searcher point is smarter. Just because you don't want to get caught up in a mitigation cycle where it could retrace and hit you out at break even or even take out you as liquidity and then like, you know, go lower. But there's a perfect TP there for 7R. See what happens on gold. The stop hunter entry would be basically this low, which is pretty far. You would get stopped out of this trade here before you even take out that low. We'll see. I think gold, there's no reason for gold to be rejecting here unless something on micros did something. That does happen at times, so I do notice. If micros does something funky, it will affect the minis. For those that are new here as joined, make sure to click the link down below. Check out my website and join the free Discord server. So far caught a really nice short on NQ for 7R, literally perfect TP. If you took a reversal, I mean, you could have, I wouldn't really consider this, I mean, they're all bearish candles. You could take an impulse here. It's just like near where price is, there's no mitigation, which you could consider that even a good thing, but it doesn't look as good of an impulse model as some other stuff I've seen, some other delivery like this, for example. So, but this is again inducement, so you want to be taking a short anyway off here. This would be a fake out, but there's TP. I already made a lot even during ADA session on NQ, to be honest. Send a chat message to students as well. I'm explaining all this if they're not on stream. The thing is, this like stop hunter, I think the only reason why I wouldn't take this is just because there's no PY mitigation. If you look to the left here, there's nothing here. Even on every time frame, there's literally nothing here. We have a lot of viewers today, man. 12 people watching right now. Usually at this time, it's pretty dead. I mean, we have like about an hour-ish till market closure. So far though, stream-wise, there's one winner for 7RR. Again, I was trying to stream earlier, but my headphones were dead. They were like breaking up. So I was unable to stream with music not going into the microphone. And that would probably copyright the stream. And sometimes it gets blocked in other countries, depending on the music you play, so I couldn't do that. unfortunately. But this was a textbook, Sebastian. Yeah, this is complete textbook setup. Okay, textbook continuation. You said you're in gold longs right now, ranging, targeting 4460.7. 4460.7. Okay, so you're going for this high here, basically. Yeah, basically that high. For me personally, if it's ranging, I wouldn't go for the high here. I'd probably just TP at the 5-minute supply. Whenever price is ranging, you just don't know where it's trying to go. I mean, this obviously is looking bullish here, but could also be going bearish for this. Like, even though yes, we do have new value, I wouldn't be targeting this personally. But the way price is like delivering here, just ranging up here, I wouldn't go for any crazy target for ranging. Sometimes price just moves at random. There's no set rules when price is ranging, so. It might be going for the stop hunter low. I think this is something I'd take here. Actually, we missed it. There's my stop loss, so I do take this trade if we get in here. I'm just gonna go for the mitigation here. It is, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit weird that we're rejecting here in price, but I think this is likely due to a fake out at the gap. Usually these gaps should not be holding. We should be going for that initial mitigation here. We did miss the low, this low here. You should hopefully get filled here. My stop is covering this low. There's no way we take out this low here. Unless we want to go for break-even liquidity, and that'd be down here. I think this is fully mitigated too. I'm gonna take this, guys, personally. Up to you if you want to take it. If we don't get filled, that'll be unfortunate, but it's a nice 3R trade towards a 5-minute demand above on gold. AQ wise, it did mitigate for you to give you an entry to upside if you think bullish. That would be counter trend in my textbook though, so I'm gonna avoid that. If you want to take a quick scalp, you can. What happens with counter trend trades is sometimes you can use a position tool real quick or eyeball it real quick to see if you can get a 1-to-1 if you're trying to scalp. Like, this is a doable 1-to-1 target. It's nearest PY mitigation. If your 1-to-1 target is maybe like here, then I'd say it's not really worth scalping, you know. That's basically almost a whole entire move essentially. So it just depends what your stop loss is, and you gotta like a relativity of like how realistic is your target, you know. Okay, I'm gonna enter on this closure here on gold here for the stop hunter. Again, delivery is a little bit weird here, but I'm in this here. And I forgot to even pull up what's it called? The enter thing. Forgot to log in. Hold on. Okay, so I'm in this here, stop hunter. All right, to the upside. Entry got a little delayed, I'm not gonna lie. TP is gonna be stop loss. Yeah, just cover this next low. I don't think you even need this big of a stop loss. The fact that we already made this big a move, I don't think this big stop loss here is personally needed. You could honestly have a much smaller stop, maybe even here. But I'll put the stop wherever you wanted it. Actually, we'll cut the stop loss here because let me see. I entered late, so it's not really the proper 3 sword. But anyway, in this here, stop hunter, gold to the upside, targeting the 5-minute PY above. You entered Sebastian at 4446. Maybe even keep the low. I don't know. It's up to you. If you want to go for a more better risk reward trade, you can go for it. Cover this low here. If you want for a worse risk reward, you can cover this low. But I just think the fact we already made this big move here, we really should be rejecting here pretty fast. I don't want to see us really go much lower because we're about to hit the 50% level, and stop hunters, if you're taking the main stop hunter setup, there's two types, but the main one, price shouldn't be going back to discount. Like, it doesn't make sense for price to come back here. There's no PY to mitigate. Actually, there's no PY to mitigate. The only thing there is actually is to go lower. Everything here is fully mitigated. You check the 5 minute. Yeah, I don't see anything on the 5 minute unmitigated. Not sure what price reacted off of here. I do see a potential POC. Okay, took an L here. What the? Why is my screen tearing? Took an L here on the stop hunter. You could avoid this loss, like I said, just based off this price being very weird here. Why it's rejecting. Again, I think it's based on this here. It's not the greatest POC, but we could use as a POC. But usually we should go for the mitigation, so. Took a -1 there, that's fine. Again, if this goes up, that'd be annoying. Could be going for break-even liquidity. It's either going for break-even liquidity right now, or it is just straight up going for the lows, okay? Because I don't see any PY at all. I'm checking right now, but I don't see anything. You guys let me know, but I don't see anything. Man, if we got stopped out early, that'd be tragic. We got, I think, stopped out here. Again, this could be going for the break-even liquidity point, but that's down here, so we'll see what's going on here, though. Again, I just still see upside here on gold after the sweep. I just don't see downside. This PY is way too old. Price many times tried even going for it, it's not going for it, so we'll see. Hoping this does play out for people that are already in the longs though from earlier. 4447, I forgot to check. That's 4446. Oh, 4446. You got a really nice entry price, Sebastian. Damn, you entered down here. Oh, 15-second entry. Makes sense. If we do go lower here, I think the POC held, and that's basically what happened. There's no other explanation why it's like going lower here aside from this being the mitigation point instead of this high here. You entered on 15 seconds. Yeah, you must have got a crazy entry. Those that scalp for 1-to-1 on Q, nice TP there. Yes, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like I said, everything's fully mitigated. But at this point, when you see something fully mitigated here, that's your target to target. But like structure-wise, you're looking at the right side now. This is your new structure. Like, that's why you don't want to target too far. Imagine you were shorting here, right? And you're trying to target this low here, which is not bad. But then you have to consider like, you have to consider that like if you don't TP here at the next low, you might get stopped out here at break even, or even take out your liquidity if you're short here. If you're short here, you know, if price does something like this, it can come back, hit you at break even, take you out even liquidity, and then go lower. So I like at some point you have to follow the trend on the right, because on the left, this is a clear draw, yes. However, there's new structure developing on the right in terms of delivery. Currently we are going lower on NQ. That looks good on NQ. Gold is, my goodness, I think we got faked out, y'all, by a slow sweep. Guess we ultimately did sweep another low. Again, usually when you're this displaced in price, that doesn't happen. Also very sus, we came back to discount. Just because we had this big move here doesn't mean we're gonna go higher though. We'll see if it does hold or not. Hold means literally you get it either entry model, or you already got an entry model actually here technically. But go for the high. I'm hoping this goes. For people that are already in this trade though, again, the best entry here for this long would literally be, this here. I think what we could have maybe worked on for this entry here is if we waited for confirmation, you could have got the IFG entry here, but risk reward is pretty horrendous, I'm gonna be honest. So don't know about that. I'll move the position tool to where the entry is supposed to be. It still would have been a loss either way, so it's not gonna change much. But yeah, let's see if this gold can run here to our ultimate target, to the upside. Nice. Gold is running for those that are in the trade still. Unfortunate, 2 sweep outs. I would never do something like this though. That's the thing. The RR for me is just not good enough. So I'm okay with this loss here. There's even in backtesting, like this is not like abnormal delivery here in terms of the stop hunter. In my backtesting, this is why I think backtesting is important. For people that thinks the market is out to get them, that means you haven't done enough backtesting. If you think their market's trying to target use liquidity, you haven't done enough work. Okay. When I was doing backtesting for Stop Hunter, I even noticed sometimes it does take out 2 lows. It's rare, but it does happen. And when it does happen, it would take me out of my initial stop loss and then go. But I didn't do backtesting where if it does take me out, it takes out 2 lows and get another entry in like maybe this IFG. Of course, in this case, this might play out right now, but that doesn't mean much here. I doubt we'll come back for this mitigation at this point, after we already did these 2 sweeps to get an entry. But my point is, you know, this is like an expected outcome of Stop Hunter, where we get stuck twice, 2 lows instead of just 1. Like I won't go on tilt taking this loss, knowing this is a probabilistic loss. If I wanted to, I could change my Stop Hunter strategy and cover 2 lows every time. But the problem with covering 2 lows every time is that your risk reward is going to get sometimes even 2 times less. And when it gets 2 times less, what happens is your EV is going to go down. And the win rate to me is not that much higher. Like yes, I'll still be in this trade, but this cherry picking. Okay, and just because the price of this doesn't mean this is a winning trade right now. This could still be a, where's the low? This could still be a stop hunter this way to the downside, right? So until we hit TP here by mitigation, this doesn't mean that this would have been a winner. So I'm okay with accepting the fact that I doubled my risk reward and sacrificed about 7% of my win rate. That's fine for me. That's worth it when you do the math. What do you guys think? Take the continuation on stream or no? Continuation would be meaning if we do come back to mitigate this, we could get a setup here. But this isn't something I've back tested or tried for the most part. Risk reward, like I said, look, it's not going to be as good. Wait, 2. From like a rule standpoint, upside is still what I see on gold. Because when I was doing back testing, for the most part, I wasn't paying too much attention to POCs for my targets. I was targeting the POIs. The reason why I found out about POCs is because I was switching time frames and realizing, wait, this is another time frame POI. Like, let's see, it's probably gonna be a weird time frame. It's my opinion. Let's see, is there any time frame here? Sometimes there's not. So there's, okay, that's actually good for us on this long. There's not another time frame that aligns with it, so that might be a fake out here. But the point is, it's still held here in a sense where you got a retracement. Let me leave this arrow here, and then I'll keep that there for people that are watching that are confused on what that is. That's another stop hunter to the upside. We'll see what happens with gold though. Let's see. I'll take this here just to see what happens on this on stream, but wouldn't count this really as a trade. So even if it does win here, I'm not going to count it as a trade. Just because this is not normally how I take trades, this would be an example of something you can try. But a lot of like the trial and error I've done on stream, they typically end up with a much lower win rate. So this has to hold here if we want to go higher. If we don't hold this OB, I'm pretty certain we should be going for the lows here. That would be like a bias flip, but there's no trade I can really take to go to that low. If that makes sense. Like this would be the valid setup. This wouldn't be a valid setup just because I don't have data on this. For stream wise, oh my gosh, some of the NQ is going higher now. I'll be going for a mitigation. Let's see. ES did not take out that high. NQ already took out that high a while ago. Might be going for a mitigation cycle here. I doubt it does continue and go out for highs here, like new highs. And it might ignore the trend liquidity. That'll be against like my rule book of how price moves. But if it does do that, it is what it is. You still make your money, right? Like going for, I guess you call it the aggressive target, but not super aggressive. It pays off when price doesn't follow a rule set. Though I will say we did go back to the daily 50% level on NQ, which is an area. If you don't understand, that's basically a daily candle. It is an area that price could get a big move off of daily 50%. So it's basically the premium discount of the daily candle. So it is a big area. On gold, if you want to use stop loss reduction method, you can move your stop here, take a much smaller loss if it loses. Because we did break above there, that's basically a seconds change in delivery. Or not change in delivery, sorry, that's not the right word. Structure, basically shifting. Whatever you want to call it. I just call it a break to the upside. But the correct term would be like a change in character. Like taking this here, you'd make back this first loss. You'd be up only 1 R though, but still. Better than nothing, right? Only 1 hour left for top step. Yeah, roughly. I think you'll hit this TP though, Sebastian, though, if you're still in this long. Before market closure. I mean, we have some really nice momentum. It really took out this high here. This is a really good sign that we're bullish now once we took out this high. Because if we were bearish here, we should have held this high. Now it seems like, you know, we're going. If you want to move your stop loss to break even, conserve your trade, feel free to right now. Or stop loss reduction. If you want to TP even at the next high instead, you don't feel confident about this 5 minute because price is being a little bit weird right now. You can, but I think the 5 minute should hit here. Sorry, I keep moving my charts too much. I'm just such a, I don't know what the right word is. I just move around a lot. Let's see if we can get this TP here though. Chart mover? It's an interesting name, but no, just like fidgeting in general. I don't know. I do a lot, not even just on like TradingView, just everywhere. I can't stand still. Alright, let's see what happens here. This is basically going for break-even liquidity for the bearish traders going short. I'm not going to go on NQ here. I think we should focus on gold right now since we're in this trade. So we'll check this out. How's everyone trading today though? I mean, after that big NQ win, this textbook setup you should have taken even before I took it even. I basically know when to take it. Most people should be up for a day today. Unless you took some setups during other sessions or maybe before, during kill zone. Maybe you'd be down. I didn't check the charts, okay? So I'm not sure. Values from the trades so far on stream. You should be easy green. Okay, hopefully we ideally don't get a mitigation cycle here. Ideally we just go for it. When it gives you a reaction like this, in this case, because we're in such a small range, it's not going to give you structure shifting. It's gonna be seconds shifting. This is kind of anticipating a fake move here to the downside, to fake PY to go short, to go higher. Ideally, we want something like this where we break the candle and then go higher, instead of something like this where we come all the way back down here. Because we already have one mitigation cycle here. I mean, we can, of course, get another one. In this case, when I say mitigation cycle, technically this isn't, just because this is just like your entry model. But it's a little bit weird here just because how price here is fully mitigated, as you can see on the left. I mean, I'll draw it here, but when I say trend line quitting my chart, all I mean is it's fully mitigated. Let me check another time frame just to make sure, but I'm pretty certain everything is, yeah, it is fully mitigated. Ideally, we don't go for mitigation here. If you're break even, it might hit you out on this. Obviously, if you entered where Sebastian entered, none of this noise matters to you since your entry's down here. I'd definitely be break even here though, if you're entered down here. There's no reason for price to come down here, because there's no PY protecting you. Hopefully this is a fake out here though. Let me go higher. So such a sniper exit on NQ today though. Basically caught 80+% of the move on our shorts. That was good. All right, time for this fake reaction not hold. Is that a 1, 2? Oh, this is not an OB. This is a glitch. This is a glitch. The high, the candle low is not supposed to go. Candle opening price not supposed to open there. It's a glitch there. And it does look like an OB though. It's a glitch. It's basically a gap. If you want to be more specific. How did everyone do it in 2025? All right, hopefully everyone made money in 2025 and a green. If you didn't, you really need to look through your journal of your trades. I recommend you have 2 journals. One for your trades. I'll make a separate YouTube video. It's been a minute since I uploaded a YouTube video. I'll do that for y'all. But you gotta have 2 journals. One is for trades to make sure the technical side of things are going the right way. Okay, trying your win rate, your risk reward. And your other journal is your psychology journal. Using your calendar to make sure every single day you're following your rules and you're green. If you're not following your rules, then boo-hoo, because you're not gonna be green. Nick, nice, 25% total trading account. Not bad, not bad. Are you day trading though? I feel like for day trading, if you're risking only 1%, it's not that much. Because I believe the market, if you invested in, I think it was QQQ. Yeah, because like if you invested just passively in the market, you made about like 18% this year, just doing nothing. On the tech stock, QQQ, or text index, sorry. I think you can definitely bring it up though, for sure, Nick. The 25% if you're day trading, you can definitely bring that up easy to at least 200%. or at least 120%, 10% a month. Oh, you only really traded quarter four? Oh, okay, it's not bad. 25% quarter four, that's what. So I guess you can say 100% returns in a year, depending on how long you've been trading for though. If you're, I don't know, if you're kind of new to trading, then even then, most people in day trading, they lose. So they either lose to either a strategy issue, they don't understand the charts, or a psychology issue. I think some people also are stuck in a dilemma where they don't know what they're doing wrong. That's when you guys can take and learn from me if you want. No plug, but you can check out the mentorship there. Boom, let's go. What the hell? Did it break? Oh, dude, y'all saw that? There was a delay. I think it was a delay in filling the order. Nice, let's go. Let's go, TP hit. TP hit. Again, I'm not gonna count this as a win for the title purposes just because this is not the valid setup. The valid setup is really, for the most part, this short. So let's say one win, one loss today on the stream. You guys think we should count the win here? It's not part of the where I would have initially entered, but it is a re-entry. You guys let me know if I should count this towards our stream record or not. It's a 2R trade. How much RR did you make, Sebastian, on this trade? You think I should? Okay, cool. I think in the future, I'll try. The thing with streams is because I have so much like P&L wiggle room, maybe for some of you guys you don't, which I understand, but since I have so much P&L wiggle room, I can mess around a good amount. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But you guys get the point. Like, I can mess around and test out some setups that normally I wouldn't take, but they're not like horrible setups. They're just like re-entries for the most part, or even continuations like this above. But yeah, definitely Sebastian, I think it's a good call not to target this. Also because market's about to close soon, like you said on Top Step, so you can't, if you don't want to be the guy in drawdown already and market closes and you have to close out your Top Step position. You got 4R? Nice. What did you enter off of? 15 seconds? Here? I don't know where you put your stop, but I'm just guessing something like, oh, that's not even 4R. I guess maybe you entered here on the POC here. That would have been 4R. Yeah, about 4R here. Or you entered on the continuation here. Anyway, yeah, you easily get 4R here off that. Nice. Look at our sniper exit right here, y'all. Right there. Limit order and 15-second demand. Nice. Are you on my 15-second demand? This demand, Sebastian, or the extreme one here? I'm on the 15 seconds, right? Yeah. Or maybe the third option here. This is not bad. I'd say, I think the main thing here, Sebastian, I'd say it's definitely a little bit more risky. Like, obviously you hit TP is a good directional trade. I think it's a little bit risky just because looking at the momentum with such big momentum like this, going on a seconds is kind of rough. But if you use something like Impulse Model, it also would have worked out too, it seems like. Anyway, there's entry and models, multiple entry models here to the upside, so that's good. A lot of good confirmation. That extreme one, did it hit on a, let me see. Directional wise, if you want to take a stab short on gold, you can. where you are in a range, so you could take both sides of the market. I'm not going to count this here. I think I'm done here personally, but something like this, you can go for a 1-to-1, or in terms of PY mitigation, like technically the next PY for shorts is down here. But it is very late. Gold still has solid like volume here. Okay, if you guys look at like volatility, okay, I don't mean like that, but we are in a box. Like, yes, volatility is not great, but the fact we're still delivering from premium to discount, discount to premium this many times is pretty solid. This would be a short if you want to take it. Okay. That'd be a short you could take on gold, but we're gonna skip off on this one. It is a valid setup. I just think time wise this is not good, but volatility wise I think this is fine. It's just like, when I say time wise, I'm not talking about volatility. I'm mostly talking about just the fact that you might not hit TP before market closes here. Like, I don't know how much more volatility is gonna come into the market, but it's a nice short here if you want to take it, or you just want to go for a 1-to-1. That's fine too. The reason why I preach 1-to-1 for scalps is this is so easy, man. You don't have to think much about your trades. You literally can just take it, you know? Oh, Sebastian, I see your screenshot you sent me on Discord DMs. Oh, I see. You took the extreme right there with limit. Nice. That is, where is that? Sebastian took. Oh, micros, I think. Wait. I think micros went down. Am I tripping? 210. 210. I might be tripping here. Oh, I see. You took this, right? This right here. So this was all the way back here. I see. So you just had a limit order trade here then. This wouldn't be like your, per se, for example, OB entry model, since price is long gone. It's already went back to premium. This would be your limit order off a sweep. Yeah, this is valid here. I'd say this is valid just because we have a sweep combined with the limit order. Oh, sorry, a liquidity sweep combined with a PY. I think for me, I don't have enough testing on having limit orders on second PY, so I probably wouldn't take that personally. But if you're confident or done enough testing on the seconds, yeah, this is completely valid here. Yep, sweep of the low, stopping her. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, impulse delivery, 100%. This was definitely impulse delivery here. Check out what's going on NQ. Let me check on my phone. Let's see. NQ, it is holding the sweep of or the break structure to the low extremely well on NQ right now. Very intrigued. I wonder what the risk would be if I took an IPG here. I wouldn't target that demand just because risk was really bad. 2.36. Sometimes you can combine entry models. You get an IPG here, you get an OB entry model here, and you get another IPG confirmation here. I just don't like taking these as much as the initial one, just because this could just be a mitigation, you know? And if the mitigation just closes bearish, it is what it is, and it goes higher. There's shorts potential here if you want to take it. It's a valid setup. Only reason because there's no clear direction here. We are literally in a box. So you can see how like when we're in a box, we do a sweep, we don't mitigate anything, and we go higher. I'll take this for the stream, I think, just for fun. We need some action on stream. I know there's only like 30 seconds left. Or not 30 seconds left, but $30 is what I meant. I mean, this is a far target. I'm not gonna lie if you're trying to take this. But yeah, this is still a valid setup to me. Since we're in the range, you can trade both sides. At some point, we're gonna sweep though. We did sweep this side, okay? In a range, we could sweep also both sides. Let me see if I can find an example here. Like for then we did sweep this, we also swept this, right? See how we took out this high, we also took out this low. In this case, we could take out this low, but not take out the high. Like in the range, when price is ranging, you just don't know. The direction is very unclear. That's why ideally you either wait for a liquidity sweep to take your trade, which is what Sebastian did, which is really good. You want to kind of avoid taking, like, I know this played out, but you want to kind of avoid taking mitigations if you can. Wait for the sweep. You can have a higher win rate that way. But if this doesn't go, okay, now it's going, never mind. If you want TP and go for a 1-to-1 here. All right, otherwise you can go for this low here because there's no other PYs. That could be a nice draw. Like for example, you can see all this is fully mitigated. Again, I'm drawing this as a trend line liquidity, even though it doesn't look like a trend line. It's not the point. The point is it's low resistance liquidity. I think that's what it's called. I don't really care too much, again, the terms you guys use, as long as you understand the idea and concept behind why the market is moving where it's moving. Okay, that's all I care about. You can call it my chain of character, microstructure shift. I just don't care. But I do prefer you learning it and understanding it, memorizing it the way I taught, just because I'll be able to understand when you're bringing up a question or taking a trade. Everyone else in the group chat and of course will also understand with you. You know what I mean? Yo boys, let's get it. Let's go. Who's in this short? Oh, I keep trying to move the TP, but I'm trying to move this thing. Hold on. I gotta move this further out ahead just so it doesn't move around. Again, 1-to-1 is here. Basically, if you want to TP there. If it's really close, sometimes I just TP, right? Trying to go for a 1-to-1. I keep making this mistake. Hold on. Move my entry too many times. If it's really close like this, I just TP here for 0.86. It's not a huge difference from 1-to-1, if we're being honest. And this is where price could reverse, going bullish. But I'd say if you're looking for the main setup, I wouldn't TP there. I'd be TPing at the low here. But yeah, another confidence you can add for this downside is look at my daily bias indicator, pointing bearish. DMN, what is that? Damn. Is anyone else in this trade? Again, I honestly thought I think the stop hunter was a higher probability trade than this, but we're in the range, we can take this. It is dumping though. We need more volatility though. Sometimes you get nice volume just for price to not follow through. So we do need to see follow through. It definitely went 1-to-1 for sure though here. Okay, that's your 1-to-1 point right here. If you want to scalp that, you're already out of this trade. Nice TP. If you're in this trade still, you can either hold. I usually don't reduce my stop loss that much, so I'm not going to do this. But if you want to move your stop loss, reduce it there, you can. I'm going to keep my stop loss there. Okay. You could also go break even if you want. In this case, your break even point isn't really protected, meaning we do have something unmitigated at your break even point. So something could happen like this for a fractal mitigation cycle. But I'll keep my position open. My win rate is slightly lower if I don't take break evens, but I'm pretty confident in this setup now that we broke below this low here. But yeah, Sebastian, you see what I mean? Like when we're in the range, like your original target, if this plays out, I don't know if this is gonna play out. Maybe it might go for your original target up here, but in a range, great entry that you took here. I think your TP was just too aggressive here, trying to go for another liquidity sweep in a range. You want to trade the range. If this was like a clear trend though, and we didn't chop in this box like here, then 100% I'd be going for the high, 100%. Like, but the fact that like here we were trending, if you want to call it that, took out liquidity here, obviously trending bullish, so you take this long going higher, or even taking out this high. But once if you go to the higher time frame, I mean, if you go on 30-minute, like we're consolidating. This is clear consolidation. We're not doing anything. So because we're consolidating, you don't want to go for crazy targets, because from my personal trading experience, if you're going for crazy targets, what tends to happen also, and I learned from my mistake too, because I used to go for crazy targets in consolidation, I'm gonna get stopped out of my trade or even hit break even, and then for it to hit TP, or another outcome is that it's gonna miss my TP, and then it's gonna give me another trade later that I'm also gonna miss out on. So I'd rather take both of those trades or multiple trades and make more money than taking one that can potentially go just break even or even stop. Because there's a lot of trades during consolidation, because price will just range, take out liquidity. And also whenever in consolidation, we tend to come back up and down really fast. If you notice, when you have expansion, it takes longer. But when you have consolidation, mitigation. We had like 4 separate moves in a span of like an hour. Not even. Hope you guys are finding these streams helpful, by the way. If you do find it helpful, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Alright, I kind of go off like the support of streams to see whether or not you guys find them valuable. So leave a like if you're enjoying the streams, you find them very helpful, hear my insights. Share the channel with your friends. I'm trying to get my streams to maybe more viewers. If you get into more viewers, I'm more inclined to do the streams. So yeah, let's try to grow a channel, man. This is what? This is about like 3 reward. And we just did a sweep. That's why we're reacting here, for those wondering. Okay, this sweep, because it's low made a new high. This is the last chance for price to hold. If price can hold this, yeah, we can go higher. If it doesn't hold this sweep here, we'll go lower. But That's not something for me to really predict now. Anything could happen here. I think though we should be able to rebalance, well, not rebalance, but take out the low here. Amazing stream today though. You guys see how much money can be made even later in the day? Like I tell you guys, always trade the kill zone. But once you get experienced enough like me in trading, you can make a lot of money in the afternoon session as well. You see how my indicator is marking as a sweep? Again, if you guys want access to the indicator, link in the description on my website, you get access to everything here. Structure, IPGs, entry models, POIs, daily bias, which a lot of people find extremely helpful because it improves your win rate. You get everything here, but make sure your psychology is on check and your discipline. If you're not disciplined while you're actively trading, no indicator, no strategy is going to help you. Some people really are lacking discipline in not just their trading, but their life. And if you want to be making money, making a living clicking buttons at your chair, this is what it takes. Okay. Like trading is not easy per se. It's easy once you master it though. Once you go through it all, the process, it does become easy because I'm literally every single day sitting in a chair in my office, just clicking buttons and making bank. And you guys can do the exact same too. There's nothing special about me. Like I'm taking these trades in front of y'all on stream. It's literally nothing special. It's 2R. I think there's a 1R difference, almost 2R difference or double R difference. Want to close out here? I'm gonna hold this. I mean, we could go back for mitigation here, but I think due to time, not ideal. So I'm gonna personally not go break even. Follow a rule set. If you want to be mechanical about it, this is where you go break even. So using the course rules, you can go break even here. I'm gonna leave it open just to see what happens. But yeah, we did hit a valid like actual TP. You can go for it, which is this sweep here. But if we take out this low here though, likely means we're bearish, because this liquidity sweep low should always hold if we're bullish. So if we do take out this low here, we should also at some point take out this low as well. But since we're in the box, it's not as concrete, if that makes sense. Price can do whatever it wants, really. Let's check another time frame. Let me turn this off. So this is a 5-minute stop hunter here. It's an upside. Based on the 5-minute chart. Again, the 5-minute even you can see super chop. There's no entry model to the upside here. There's a weird gap they got created here, but it's not an entry model. Weird gap. I don't really like this gap though when I see this, just because I'm bearish right now and it's pretty bullish gap. It's not as ideal. It means there was a lot of volume to the upside. But let's see this fail. If we can break below that candle low, I'm pretty confident us hitting TB here, y'all. Okay. There, we broke well at low. Hopefully micros did it too. Sometimes it SMTs, which is kind of dumb. That's why I always give my stop loss some wiggle room, you know? Let's see. We can get a stop hunter here potentially to the downside is what I see. Now that made that new low. I'm gonna go break. Let me see. Is there 5 minute? My break-even point is really at the 5 minute. I'm gonna personally go break even here. I think time-wise, we're not gonna have time to hold this trade any further here. Let's see, and let me check other time frames to see if there's anything I'm missing here in terms of information. Like, there's plenty of ways to reduce your loss if you do take one. Stop loss reduction, you take a minus 0.5, go break even. I think this momentum is going for a stop hunter here. We'll see. That is a really big candle. Yeah, I'm gonna move to break even here. If it goes for mitigation for that 5 minute, I'm likely to get stopped out here, but that's okay. It's late in the day, so I was really expecting price to, obviously the 1 hour is not gonna hold, in my opinion. I was really expecting price to take this low, but like still slowly climb down instead of doing something like this. Okay, I don't want like an entry model to the upside if I'm in this short. Again, you guys don't have to follow my TPs on stream. Like I said, you made your own trades, not financial advice. You're taking these trades as if they're your own trade ideas. So your results may vary from mine. You know, if you TP for 1-to-1, you'll be in a winning trade. If you TP'd at the low right here, that's a 2-hour trade. If you hold for my target personally, that's almost 3 or 4-hour trade. You don't want to trade based on RR, by the way. I just trade based on where I think price is gonna go. But right now, it's not looking great right now, just because we have a PY OB now to the upside, which is not good. That's not ideal. So right now, what I'm seeing is a stop hunter with a PY coverage. If we don't hold that, I think we're probably gonna go for a mitigation or hit break even here. But there's plenty of P&L here to be made. If you just wanted to TP earlier, that's cool. I wouldn't FOMO close out personally for just a 1-to-1. I mean, you can, but I like to keep my trades consistent in terms of what I'm aiming for. I know some people trade based on price action, like reactions, which I'm not hating on. I don't think it's a bad idea. But for me, I like to keep my trades mechanical, if that makes sense. Like as mechanical as possible. So yeah, right now, ideally go lower. We need to reject this here. If we don't hold this PY here, I'm gonna get hit break even. Like 90% chance I'm gonna hit break even. The 5-minute mitigation is very close to the 1 minute. I think it's gonna hit me out. But if we hold the supply here, we're good to go to the downside here. If we hold this sweep though, we're gonna go for this high, or just this high here, because whenever we're in consolidation, like I said, we get a lot of new structure, new value, and we could literally just take out this high and do some BS movement and then go dump. Like, it doesn't make sense at times, but that's what happens in consolidation. I'm in the stop hunter setup off the 15-second demand. What does that mean? Off the 15-second demand. Are you talking about, are you in short or long? Not sure what you mean by stop hunter off the 15-second demand. What do you mean by 15-second demand? You mean like we hit 15 seconds? And you took this? Yo, can you guys hear me? All right, I just got back. What happened? Oh, we hit break even. Unfortunate. So sweep did hold here. So hit break even here. We didn't go lower. Sweep obviously held. All good here. Like I said, this is why your P&L on the day will vary, because the entries are mostly the same. It's more so your where your TP is set will change your outcome. If I go for a 1-to-1 here, it's a winner. If I go for this low, it's a 1-to-2. I mean, you could easily be up, instead of like, for example, up only 1R on gold today for me, you could be up 3R. But how it is, you know, sweep held, not mad. At this point, I probably wouldn't be shorting, personally. If the sweep held here, that means likely will go higher. This could be a mitigation cycle, but we're ranging, so not too ideal right now to take any more trades. But overall green, so on gold we're up just 1R today. Just up 1R today on gold. And on NQ, up 7R. So overall today, for afternoon session, 8R is plenty, man. 8RR is plenty of P&L. If you're trading Killzone, you might even make double that. So most people can't even make close to 5R in a single day. So if you're up today nicely, take a profit and just head home. Again, I don't think shorts are good anymore here, so I'm personally done trading today. If you want to stay on, I'll stay on for maybe like 10 minutes, answer some questions. I see I got a Discord DM. Let's see, Sebastian. We'll probably go for the high now. But again, since we're ranging, it could just be this high instead of this high. Who knows, right? Ranging. You guys took a short off the 5-minute POI. 4441 is really far. I think your target here with 4441 is out of reach, because like I said, we're in consolidation. There's people that probably tried targeting that initially here and got stopped out by this. That tried shorting here, stopped out by this. You see how many stop outs there are to try to go for this target when you can just make P&L within the range. So I think this is a crazy target, in my opinion, that you shouldn't be targeting, especially considering time. You're not in kill zone, you're outside kill zone. So time-wise is even worse. Because I used to make that same mistake where I'd go for these crazy targets when I see price consolidating and not giving me a delivery. I kept thinking each time I would catch the very top or bottom and think that I got the top. And that's going to be the real move to the downside when it's not. So I think target's too far for that. We can monitor this short for a bit to see. I just don't think I'd probably take a short here. I'd probably wait for a sweep of some sort if this was proper timing. But this is not good time right now to trade. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Could have taken a 3.5 hour targeting the low. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely could have taken a 3.5. I just realized. I had a later entry, but you definitely could have had a 4-hour trade going for the low. It's basically greed. That's what it is for the most part. Getting too greedy when you shouldn't be. You should be greedy when we're trending. In a trending market. You shouldn't be greedy when we're in a ranging market. I'll make a separate video. Maybe this will help you out, but for the most part, straightforward. You know it's ranging. You know not to go far, but if you still go for far targets, that's the greed kicking in. That's the psychology aspect of trading. Like when we're trending like this, obviously you want to go for greedy targets. It makes sense. It's realistic. Same with here. Same with here. Like I was going for crazy targets and I made money. This was NQ during Asia session. I made 3 winners back to back to back. All I'm doing on these 3 winners, if you don't notice, is just taking pro trend trades, going for crazy targets. They work. But when you're in a ranging market, it's not going to work. Sometimes it'll work. Yes, sometimes you'll hit TP and pay off, but your win rate is going to be much lower. So why not try to make more money trading both sides than sticking to one direction in a ranging market, you know? That's how I view it, at least. Look at NQ real quick. NQ just mitigate the PY above the origin, or basically the origin. Had a nice short if anyone took it. I think we were on gold at this time though, so we couldn't take it, but it's really nice short on NQ to our, again, you see how like because of time, this is almost market closure, you're not gonna go for this low. Like ideally at some point after market reopens, price will probably go for the low, but as of right now, like you obviously don't want to be going for that low. Time wise, time, volatility, all that, they do come into play. You broke even, so it's okay. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I think even my target might have been too much on gold. Looking at it, in a range, you want to target internal PYs, but I wouldn't go for a one-to-one here. If I was going for a main setup, I'd at least be going for this though. But in my opinion, I was looking more so at the, instead of internal swing structure, I was looking more so at the external structure here. So that's what messed me up on this trade. I'm not really mad about it. That is a thing on my end. So you can see how there's so many levels of greed. This greed here, this greed for this low, this greed for this low, and then there's this. In a ranging market, ideally, like, I know it's hindsight, but yes, I should have targeted this low here because this is a structural point. But I thought I could maybe go for maybe, you know, liquidity. But I didn't follow my indicator. Indicator at least said sweep. You see this? At least said sweep. So it also said it here too. So if you have my indicators, this is going to help you out here. You'll be able to basically do much better. Yep, lesson learned. Even if you took a loss, lesson learned, you know? It's not a huge deal. It's just one trade where you're going to be taking thousands of trades. You're going to take at least 1,000 trades with my strategy across a year. So but yeah, you can see how you could have avoided this loss here, right? Going short because this liquidity sweep helped. Also the reason why I went break even, because I saw this with the indicator marking as a liquidity sweep instead of a break structure. So if that held, then it would likely just hit me out and go for the high there. but that's fine. Still a green stream. I must update the title so everyone knows how we did today. We took 2 winners. Ooh, my screen's kind of weird recently. 2 winners, 7R. So 2 winners, 1 loser, and 1 break-even trade. In total, we're up 1. We're up 8 risk rewards today, guys. That's a lot. Okay. And you guys can also see how 1 winner makes a big difference. If you take the textbook setups, this is counter trend if you're trying to take a long here, by the way. Draw, I think, is lower. You see how, like, if you're getting too greedy, you'd be going for this, right? And you would not even hit TP and market's going to close. You see? See what I mean? You would rather make 7R here, take a counter trend trade maybe, lower probability, but take it, make 4R here, take another trade here, make 4R here. Do the math here. 7 plus 4 plus 4. What is that? 15 risk reward. Would you rather take 15 risk reward or just 8 risk reward? It's up to you. But good management today for the most part for trading. The TP was slightly off for gold, but that's fine. You know, we had a nice TP for NQ. That's all that matters. Yeah, I saw your screenshot, Sebastian, through Discord. Okay, let's see. There's something else someone asked me. I get why price moves after a sweep. Why does POY work? Well, a sweep is a type of POY. A sweep is an external POY. If you're talking about internal POYs like supply and demand, origins or flips, it's because there's orders still here, resting here. There's still orders here. That's why you get these bullish reactions, even though it didn't hold. There's orders being filled here at these price points. The logic, maybe I'll make a course video on it. But I think I've talked about this at least. I don't remember. The logic is basically the reason why we have a gap here is because there's a huge inefficiency in pricing, meaning the market filled all buy orders. Or I don't know if it's buy or sell orders, but all you have to understand is to create these gaps, you need a lot of volume, and one side is delivered across over the other. And the price has to rebalance this, and when it rebalances this, the rest of the orders that didn't get filled here going long get filled. That's why we get this reaction here, and you don't have to wait for confirmation here, and price will go up. That's just the nature of how the market moves. That's basically what it is. That's it. I think I'll have to look into this later, but again, it doesn't really matter. As long as you understand the logic, right? But I think the specifics is that there's a lot of buying orders, and you know, for every buyer, there must be a seller. When we have a gap like this, it means there weren't enough sellers here. There's way too many buy orders. So buy orders took over, and when price comes back, the rest of the buy orders that didn't get filled on this push here get filled. You can even chat GPT that, look it up, but that's kind of my rough understanding of it. Again, it doesn't matter. You guys know what to look for from the technicals. You guys know my strategy. Just trade it with correct discipline. You will be profitable. That's basically it. I'm going to end the stream here today, y'all. All right, there's only 2 people watching. Most people left here. But overall, great stream. And up 8 risk reward. 2 winners, like I said. 1 loss, 1 break even. Not too bad. Considering the loser was literally just barely missed, you know. Just barely missed it. All good. We did miss out on some P&L. Could have been a nice 2R here, and then could have been a nice, what? Another 2R. So it could have been an extra 4R today, or even 6R, but that's okay. Well, made some mistakes. Again, ranging market, this is what you have to do, but lesson learned. As long as you learn from the losses and break-evens or whatever trades, that's more valuable than you being up or down on one day. So Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next stream. All right, take care. I don't know when the next stream will be, but you guys should see a long form video sometime later this week from me. So yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Create a song talking about day, trade in the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. Create a song talking about day, trade in the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. Create a song talking about day, trade in the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. How to trade. Create a song talking about day, trading the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. Create a song talking about day, trading the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. Create a song talking about day, trading the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. Create a song talking about day, trading the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. Create a song talking about day, trading the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom, as well as mentioning essential traders, university, since that is what I run and where I teach my students how to trade. Create a song talking about day, trading the freedom it provides, money, location, time, freedom.